All right, so we're gonna do a handful of submergents. This first one is Vallisneria. This would be planted, and it's a nice rosette, and it's got these real curly leaves. If you look at the leaves, I think this red one, you can actually see it better. This doesn't show as well. This one right here. See how there's kind of three zones? It's a little bit, it's a different texture on the two sides and then from the middle. So that's a good characteristic for Vallisneria. The other good characteristic is it looks kind of like broken glass. See how it looks like there's these sideways veins that make it look like broken glass. That's a great characteristic for it. This one's just kind of turning red. I don't know if you can see the broken glass better or not.
Yeah, it's not really showing up very well today.
But so right here you can really see the zones a little better. See how it's kind of redder in the center. Anyhow, the three zones, the broken glass, Vallisneria.
Let's see if we can try the broken glass and the green one again. Just like to show that a little better. Sometimes that really shows up well.
Okay.
Yeah, you can kind of see it. It's just not quite as visible, but yeah.
Okay. Maybe in the sun. I think that's good. All right. So Vallisneria is super common in lots and lots of places. Now I've got two different myrophyllums. So myrophyllum, see how they look like a like a feather. So they're coming out in whorls and it looks like a feather. This was going to be a native one, and it's only got a few leaflets on each side. This one is going to be Myrophyllum spicatum, and it's got a ton, more than 12 leaflets on one side. This isn't the happiest one in the world, but you can see it's just got way more leaflets, which is easier if I pull one leaf off to show you. Oops. You know, all those leaflets on one side, as opposed to a native which only has a few. Okay. Now I've got Najas. Najas is, there isn't a lot of great characteristics for it. It does have little tiny spines, but they're really small and hard to see. You really need a dissecting scope to see them. But they're opposite leaves and they're kind of ribbon-like. But what's really clear with this one, and this is a characteristic that's true really with all plants, but it's really true with Najas. Every time there's a leaf, there's a branch. A leaf, there's a branch. A leaf, there's kind of a broken branch. Leaf, there's a broken branch here. Leaf, there's a broken branch. Leaf, there's a branch. Leaf, there's a branch. Leaf, there's a branch. So almost every time there's a leaf, there's a branch, with the exception of the new part of it. The older part, basically every time there's leaves, there's a branch. That's a good characteristic for Najas. Again, that's really true for every plant in the world, that, you know, the branches come from where leaves are, but this one really does it. So it ends up looking really bushy. There are a bunch of species in Najas. They all look quasi-similar with that branching pattern. They all have little spines. They've all got opposite leaves. Not a good fish tank plant. Most of the species die down really quick in the fall. Vallisneria and Myrophyllum are good fish tank plants. Now, here's a good, easy Potamogeton. So remember, Potamogetons have a big stipule. So a big stipule and a strong midvein.
Show that stipule one more time just by pointing to it. Yeah.
So this is the stipule. So every leaf has a stipule. Now, a lot of these stipules will disintegrate, but this one, they really got them. And it's got a strong midvein. Now, there are lots of species. This is actually the same one. Here's the inflorescence, it's protected. It didn't mature yet. This would actually stick up out of the water. It's kind of like corn almost right now. So it'll have this inflorescence. It'll stick up out of the water. This. Where'd it go? Here's another Potamogeton. Different species. Much smaller leaves. They can be quite variable, the same species, but this is a different species. See how it's got a strong midvein, and then still this one's got great stipules. Stipule. Every leaf has got a stipule. Okay. This is a narrow-leafed Potamogeton. Now, see how narrow these leaves are? Now this one, it's hard to see the midvein, but there would be a midvein there. Now, if you're keying out a Potamogeton, it'll say adnate to the base. So the stipule is fused in this case to the whole leaf. Whereas if I go back to this, to this one, the stipule is not fused at all to the leaf. It's kind of independent of the leaf. See what I mean by it? It's totally, so here's the leaf and it's just by itself. In this case, the stipule is fused to the base of the leaf. So some authors put this in a different genus, and this would be Stockenii. Other authors put them all in Potamogeton. So, but that's what they're talking about with the fuse to it right there. Okay, that's it.